Hi everybody. Hello. Hello. I'm not going to do a long intro. I'm just going to jump right on into this, just letting you know the criteria. I am picking my favorite movie out of a movie franchise or movie trilogy. So if a movie only has like one sequel, if there's only two movies, it's not included. So like I won't be picking a movie out of the Creeds, and I won't be picking a movie out of the 300, like that. So let's get started. First one is Die Hard, the original. Yes, I know I know for most people Die Hard with a Vengeance is everyone's favorite. But the original, the first, is still my favorite and probably always will be. It's like one of those films, it was like lightning in the bottle and you just can't duplicate it. Just everything about it. With Alan Rickman and just the... Okay, first of all, let me interject. I am on the team where everyone's like, this is a Christmas movie. I only watch this movie at Christmas time. That's just me. I cannot watch it any other time of the year. I only watch it during the Christmas season. So, but yeah, for me, he was coming right off of his TV show, Moonlighting, which I loved, by the way, and I watched it. And he was just new and fresh, and it was his first outing as a lead in a movie, and he just nailed it, just being his quirky, down to earth, real guy, no nonsense, genuine guy. And that's why everybody fell in love with McClane. And to me, it's just, I guess because it's so new, I just loved it. So Die Hard for me. And next up, this one is kind of hard for me, but ultimately, out of the James Bond series, I picked Skyfall. It's a lot of movies. And maybe we could say in the contemporary Bond films. I don't know. But I'm not going to cheat like that. Out of the entire Bond series, Skyfall is my favorite. I know for most people, their favorite is Casino Royale. Like I said, it was a very difficult decision for me. Because I also love Casino Royale. But I'm also a Sean Connery fan. Like, I have Dr. No and Goldfinger and all that. But this, for me, with Daniel Craig, I think I like this one. This one connects to me even more. Because Casino Royale, he came out, it was his first outing. He came out gung-ho. It was full-on action. It was a Bond film in a way we had never seen before. It was new. It was fresh. It was different. The Bond we had was a new look. He didn't look like all of the other Bonds where they were meaning he was more rugged. You know what I mean? Skyfall, by the time it gets to Skyfall, he is more seasoned as a 007. And we get more backstory, we get more drama, we get more of what he's going through. For me, I just connected to that so much. I love the villain. I love the story. I really, really, really enjoy this one a lot. So for me, it's Skyfall. Okay, next up in the Marvel Universe, the Captain America films, if it'll focus. For me, it's Civil War. This one was kind of tough for me too. I couldn't choose between this and Winter Soldier. I had to really think about it. But I think the reason, sorry, that's outside noise, but I think I picked Civil War because, oh goodness, this is tough. I don't know, not just the introduction of Black Panther, which was freaking awesome, but I like the whole debate of the story, which I can totally connect with. And by the way, for people who want to know, I'm not ashamed to say I am Team Cap. I was Team Cap from the beginning. I just connected with his thinking and his outlook on it. And I totally agreed with him. So There you go. But anyway, we could be on this one all day. So Civil War out of the Captain Americas is my favorite. Okay, this one is difficult too. If to know me is to know how much I love the Alien movies and how much I love Alien. And Aliens, this one was very, very, very difficult. But ultimately, I chose, which is hard to believe, I chose Aliens as my favorite out of the franchise. And I know some people will be stunned because they're expecting Alien. It goes back and forth, but I think the reason I ultimately chose Aliens is because of so many of the pieces that come together. Newt, having the little girl, having Newt in it, and just the element of dealing with the android and that evolution with Ripley dealing with that, the insertion of the Marines and the different personalities of the Marines, the location, the whole backstory. And mind you, this is the special edition, and the special edition gives you all that extra good stuff, which really added to it. And and then you get introduced to the Queen, and I love the surprise that this time the android is not evil, because you automatically expected him to be. And you're dealing with trust issues and company lies and deception and betrayal and fear, and Ripley dealing with her guilt of not being there with her daughter, and so she clings on to Newt. And then it's just so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's so much goodness, and ultimately I had to choose Aliens. So there you go. Next up, out of the Fast and Furious franchise, 6 is my favorite. It's the only one I own. It's the only one I need to own. I love this movie. I know most people choose 5 as their favorite. 6 is my favorite. There's so many scenes and sequences in this film that I just really, really enjoy. And the more I watch it, the more I like it. The opening sequence alone, the street chase, oh my goodness, that was amazing. The low riding, like super, super low riding cars going under vehicles. Oh, I love the whole last sequence at the airport on the airplane. The girl fight at the subway. Just way too many good things. This is the only one this is my favorite, hands down. So there you go. Sorry, Fast and Furious fans. Next up, in the Mission Impossible series, Fallout has become my favorite. Oh my goodness. Can we just say the bathroom scene? Oh my God. I remember when I saw it at the theater, like I instinctively put my hand out like I had a remote in my hand because I wanted to rewind it. That whole sequence was amazing. Just a lot of really, really great sequences. And you go, how many more times can he do this movie? How many more times can we see Tom Cruise run? How many more times can we see him on a motorcycle chase? You know what I'm saying? But I thoroughly enjoy this movie. And I love, love, love that sequence near the end. Spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie by now, spoiler, but that sequence near the end with his friend / female agent, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That is an amazing sequence. It is so intense and so anxiety ridden, and it is so well done. So many great scenes in this. Yeah. Fallout's my favorite. Next up, in the X-Men universe. Okay, to know me is to know, I love X-Men. When I was growing up, I collected X-Men comics. Had a massive collection. Love the X-Men universe. This one was kind of difficult because Days of Future Past, I love, 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 love. And when I saw Days of Future Past, I was like, this is my favorite X-Men, handout. And it was for the longest. And then every time I look at X2 again, I'm like, damn, this movie is good. This movie is so good. Okay, so Days of Future Past kind of dropped down a little. X-Men United. I love this movie. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, next up, if you've seen my recent video, you know This is one of my favorites. I love the Jurassic Park franchise. I took this out of its case because it's slippery. It's slippy slidey, but it's in a slip case. This is all of the movies. But my favorite is Jurassic Park, the original. Now, mind you, I enjoy all of the Jurassic Park movies. I like them all. I know everybody has, a lot of people like, I can't stand Jurassic Park 3 or I hate the Lost One. I'm sorry, I don't. I enjoy them all. I like them all for what they bring to the table. I like them all for their own merits. I am not that kind of person that compares movies to other movies. I just don't do it. I don't think it's fair to the movies. I judge movies on their own merit, and I like them all individually, separately for their own stuff. But Jurassic Park, man, the first one, this is how it looks when you open them all, but just to show you if you've never seen it before. But and then the rest of them are and continue. But this movie, man, I'll never get when I first saw it. When you when you saw it, you didn't really know, if you hadn't read the novel, right? You didn't know what to expect. And you go in and you're thinking, it's Steven Spielberg. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be amazing. And boy, it took a hard right turn out of nowhere. It went from sci-fi to adventure to straight horror. I would never forget that experience as long as I live. And just the magnificence of seeing those Stan Winston dinosaurs. Stan Winston, may he rest in peace. He was always my all-time favorite creature effects guy. But seeing them come to life, and the Brachiosaurs were always my favorite, and the Triceratops, and seeing them come alive on screen, on that huge screen. Oh my gosh, that's another moment. Lightning in a bottle. Just, you cannot replicate it. Just, you can't. Okay, let me stop because I'll be on this movie forever. Adore Jurassic Park. Okay, moving on. Next one. It's one from a series I'm not a huge fan of, which is why I still haven't even upped it to Blu-ray. But Iron Man. I know there's probably a lot of people going, oh, what do you mean? I'm not a huge Iron Man fan. Now, let me tell you. Okay, the first one is my favorite. I've seen them all. The first one is my favorite. I'll eventually get the Blu-ray, eventually. But Iron Man wasn't a favorite. I'm not a woman who is into arrogant men, full of themselves, full of hubris, blah, blah, blah. That stuff is not attractive to me. And that is full on who he was, right? So in the beginning, I wasn't a fan of his. But he played the heck out of that role. I gave him credit from the beginning. But I liked him more and more and more as he evolved through the Avengers films and the Iron Man films. So, yeah, I ultimately ended up really liking him. But this is why this is still on DVD. But Iron Man is my favorite out of that franchise or trilogy. Next up is some sci-fi. The Matrix. The original. Let it focus. Okay. Ooh, it's doing its own thing. There we go. Okay, Matrix, the original, is still my favorite. I liked, now who I did like, those albino twins were super badass. That was the third one, right? Wait a minute, let me think. Or was that the second one? See, I don't even remember. The rest of them are a blur because I really didn't enjoy them that much. The only thing I enjoyed were those albino twins. They were freaking badass. And that chase scene with Trinity on the motorcycle, I think that was the third film. But the original will always be my favorite. And to me, it's the best one. Another one, Lightning in a Bottle. Nothing like it. Refreshing, intense, deep, layered, thought-provoking, just so creative and unique, and we just saw so many things that we hadn't seen before. And yeah, The Matrix, the first one. Next up, this is a I'm pretty sure it's still a trilogy. Please tell me they didn't do a fourth one. Taken. The first one, should have been the only one they ever made. That's my opinion. I'm just saying. But the original Taken is a fabulous action film. Again, Liam Neeson, if I do remember correctly, it was his first action movie. He was always a straight dramatic actor. He surprised everybody, and he was amazing. And they tried to repeat creating that lightning in a bottle. And the sequels were just cookie cutter films, the same thing over and over. So what, the second one was his wife got snatched, or his daughter got snatched again, and the third one his wife got, oh good gracious. It's so bad and so unmemorable to me, I can't even remember. But yeah, this was so freaking good. My favorite scene will always be when he's talking to that guy, and at the table, and he hears his voice and recognizes that's the voice on the phone of the man who took his daughter. That scene is amazing. Oh, okay, let's see. Next up, another favorite series of mine, the Star Trek universe. From the original Star Trek team, this one was kind of tough. My favorite is Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. Okay. So, oops, sorry. That was my bad. Touched my screen. But, sorry. This movie, it's really tough between this and The Wrath of Khan, which I have. It's really, really tough to choose, but I love The Undiscovered Country because it deals with prejudice, with bigotry, with tolerance and intolerance, betrayal, politics. It deals with fear, justified fear, irrational fear. It deals with old school, new school. It deals with people being enemies for so long that they can't even allow themselves the chance to be allies, to not be enemies. It is such a good film. Oh my goodness. And there's a moment in it that is so unbelievably powerful when Spock says to Kirk, we need to help the Klingons because they're dying and their planet is dying and we need to help them. And Captain Kirk just flat out says, then let them die. Let them die. And you're just like, whoa, did Kirk just say that? And it just showed because of his history. When you have history and bad things happen to you, you don't trust people. And how do you trust people after they've been cruel and murderous and they've betrayed you? How do you trust them? How do you even get yourself to care about them? This movie is one of the most underrated films. I love it. Okay, not going on anymore, but Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. Okay, next up, from the Star Trek reboot series. Mind you, I was that person when they announced this. I poo-pooed it and banned it straight up. I didn't go see it at the movies. I refused. I'm like, don't redo, leave Star Trek alone. And until we realized, they didn't make it clear when it was coming out that it was a prequel series. It was of the crew when they were young. They made it seem like they were remaking the series. So once that got clear in my head, I watched it, fell in love with it immediately. The cast was perfect. I thoroughly enjoyed the film, thoroughly enjoyed the angle and what they did with it. It was so much fun. And to be honest, I really, really love the second one. Is it Star Trek? Dang, I just went blank. Star Trek Into the Darkness, Beyond the Darkness, something like that. But Khan is in that one. With Benedict Cumberbatch, who I love and adore, and I thought he was actually amazing as Khan. But yeah, I have to give it to the first one again. Lightning in a Bottle did it for me. I can watch this movie incessantly, and it never, ever, ever gets old. love it. Next up, in the sci-fi world, Terminator series. My favorite is the original. I know most people say Terminator 2 is their favorite, and yes, of course, I love Terminator 2. Love it, love it, love it. Have it, of course. But Terminator and Terminator 2 are like Alien and Aliens. Terminator, like Alien, was more of a thriller. It was more frightening. It was more stressful and anxiety ridden. Terminator 2, like Aliens, had more action in it, and more sci-fi. So, but for me, Terminator, again, it was such a new, unique premise. Schwarzenegger was amazing as the Terminator. We all know that. Just to know that you have a thing coming after you. You can't beg for mercy. You can't negotiate. You can't plead. You can't communicate. You can't bargain with it. You can't bribe it. There is nothing you can do. It has one purpose, one mission, totally focused on doing one thing, and that's terminating you. Can you imagine the fear of that? And every time I watch this movie, the anxiety is still there. That's frightening. It's like frightening that this thing just will never stop until it completes its mission. And, yeah, Terminator, the first one, is still my favorite. Okay, next up, hitting into drama. I might be in the minority here, but we're talking about The Godfather. My favorite is The Godfather 1. Sorry, that's my TV reflecting in the... I don't even know where my remote is. Sorry, guys. I don't know where my remote is, so you're going to see the TV reflecting. But The Godfather, again, for me, the first film, resonates with me. It stays with me. It sticks with me. It is pure because it's new. You have the backstory. You're seeing the origins. You're seeing everything as it starts. You see Michael when he's still innocent and sweet and he's the baby, and and you're seeing everything go down, and seeing his father, who's such a good man, who did what he had to do to make it in America, to take care of his family. He became a gangster, yada, yada, yada. But deep inside, he's still a good man. Like, he wouldn't go into drugs. He wouldn't go into prostitution. And to see the evolution at the end of Michael is something you can never, ever redo. It is chilling. It is chilling. That last couple of sequences in this film, I love everything about it. Sunny. I don't care how many times I see this movie. Okay, who has not seen The Godfather by now? But if you haven't seen it, spoiler. But every time Sonny gets killed, I cry. I've seen this movie I don't know how many times, and I still cry. Yeah, I'm sorry. The original, still my favorite. Okay, I know. I'll be here all day. Let's go. Okay. Another favorite, again, the first one is my favorite. We're talking about the Rambo franchise. First Blood is my favorite. Oh my goodness. Stallone was so freaking good in this movie. The feels, man, the feels that he projected on screen, the feels that he injected into this character. And you feel his, every time I watch it, you just get so angry at how he's treated when he gets back. He's minding his own business, wants to be left alone. He's trying to find his friends. He's not bothering any damn body. But that old saying, don't start none, won't be none. And that's what happened. And it's heartbreaking. And I don't know where Stallone went in that scene. Oh man, I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. I can't remember. Was he his captain or the general? But his superior officer, who he was close to, who came to get him to stop and who to talk to him. And that whole scene when he starts crying and he's just like, why were they messing with me? I just want them to leave me alone. And oh my goodness, that scene just tears me up every time. It tears me up every time. Stallone killed it. He killed it. He killed it. So First Blood for me will always be my favorite. The other ones became more about action and just violence and just testosterone. It just got over the top ridiculous for me. But that's my opinion, people. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying for me. Next up. I love this movie. This movie, I think a lot of people didn't get it. This movie, okay. Starship Troopers. Some people may not even know there's a bunch of these movies. I think they did 4. I think they did 5 of them. No, I only own this one. This is the best one. The rest of them they were just so bad, in my opinion. And I can't judge all of them because I have not seen every single sequel. But this movie is so freaking good. The more I watch it, the more I love it. And now I'm a person who doesn't like gratuitous violence and blood and gore and stuff. And you do get that, but it is a war, and they're big bugs, and they're gross. They're going to be really, really gross. But this movie is amazing. The music is amazing. It looks amazing. I don't even know what to say. Like, you either get it or you don't. The movie is making a social commentary. I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say. This movie has to be seen to be understood and appreciated. That's all I can say. If you like action, you like sci-fi, you like space adventures, you like military movies, you like war movies, check it out if you've never seen it. Okay. I got another stack. Okay, next up is more sci-fi. This is the original. Okay, out of the Star Wars series, yes, I've seen the original 3, I've seen the 3 prequels, and the 3 sequels. And my favorite is still The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite. Still my favorite. There you go. Okay, now we got some more movies. Let me try to move these over here, guys. Give me a second. Hope I don't drop them. Okay, wait a minute. Why do I have both of these? Okay, never mind. Okay, here's another one that's from one of my all-time favorite novels. It was a favorite before the movie came out. Love it. And I say a novel because it was originally written as one book. But from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, my favorite. This one was tough. This one was tough. This one was tough. But I ultimately chose Return of the King. I love Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring. I like Two Towers, don't get me wrong. But Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King are my favorites. The bookends. But ultimately, I think I chose Return of the King because it has everything. Because you see everything being wrapped up. You see everybody coming together. You see how everyone has evolved. You see the culmination of everyone's struggles and fears and conquering their fears and fighting and running, and just their whole journey comes to this point. And then you see it wrapped up, and then you see the end, and you see how it affects everybody. The PTSD, no one has ever legitimately just flat out said it, but you see the hobbits going through PTSD at the end. And I just adore this whole novel. And I still call it a novel, but it's in 3 parts now. But yeah, there you go. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Okay, this one is probably going to freak a lot of people out. Don't care, you know. You like what you like. You dislike what you dislike. So, you know, we all like what we like, right? And dislike what we dislike. Okay. My favorite in this sci-fi series, sci-fi action series, yes, is Predators. It's not Predator. I love Predator. Have always loved Predator, you know. You know what? Okay, too many thoughts. I love Predators. Every time I watch it, I like it more and more and more and more. I like the Fishburne character that gives us more. We find out more about the Predators. We learn more about the Predators through him. I love the opening sequence of this movie with people falling out the sky. And you're like, I remember when I first started the movie, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I just love it. I love the different characters, and I am not that person. Oh my goodness, his name just left me. What's his name? Him right here. Jeez, his name just left me. I'm so sorry. He's such a good actor, though. I don't know why people don't like him. He's a good dramatic actor, but I did not hate him in this. You know, people get so caught up in the concept of what they think a soldier should look like. And I think they judged him because of what he looked like and because he was normally in dramatic roles. I liked him in this movie. I liked his character. And I loved seeing more about the Predators, more about their culture, more about their initiations. We see more of an extension of their world with their pet dogs. I love this movie. I love the homage that they paid to the first movie. I like how they elaborate more on things from the first movie, you know, doing nods to it. I enjoy this. I really, really like this movie, and I like it more every time I see it. So there you go. I know it's a shocker, but there it is. Next up, back into the Marvel Universe. Out of the Avengers series, trilogy, whatever. This one was kind of hard. But between Infinity War and Endgame, I ultimately chose Infinity War. There's just so much more that I loved about it. And I loved, I just went blank. Scarlet Witch, right? Oh my goodness, she was so badass in this one. I just loved everything about it. I love getting the backstory about Thanos. I love getting more backstory about Gamora. I loved going to each section, each team, each little separation to see what everybody was doing around the universe and having everybody come together. I love this. Oops, sorry, I didn't see the camera. I love this so much. So yeah, there you go. Infinity War. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this up, guys. Next up, in the Thor series. Yep. I know this is going to surprise a lot of people. I know a lot of people are in love with the third one. The name of it just left me. Dang. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. Ragnarok. I know everybody's in love with Ragnarok. I enjoy Ragnarok. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. But I'm sorry. The first one, I just enjoyed it because it was the first time we got to see him. Thor was another favorite character of mine. Back in the day, I read and collected Thor comics. So to see him come on screen, he was Thor for me. I thought he was perfectly cast. I loved all the moments with his father. I love one of my favorite scenes is when his father strips him of his royal armament, of his power, of his status, and why he tells them he's doing it. And while he's doing it, he's showing you his disappointment and his sadness, not in the prince, not in a warrior, but in his son. You see what I'm saying? You're dealing with sibling competition and resentment, and oh my goodness, I love this. I love this movie. And that scene in the beginning with the I just went blank. The frost giants. Oh my goodness. That whole sequence was amazing. I'm sorry, guys. Thor, the original. my favorite. Next up, from an actor who I adore. I have been following him since forever, and I was so glad this film brought the Western society to his attention, brought him to their attention. But from the Ip Man trilogy, Ip Man 1 is still my favorite. I enjoyed all of these. I enjoyed 1, 2, and 3. But the first one is my favorite. Oh my goodness, Donnie. And it's just fabulous in these films. But Ip Man is just stunning. It's just a stunning film. Next one, Adventure. This one has a lot of nostalgia and sentimentality for me. And it is Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first one. This one was tough because I really love The Last Crusade. But Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, again, was lightning in a bottle for me. It just, a person who was like a frustrated archaeologist. When I was little, I wanted to be an archaeologist. And I wanted to be an explorer. And I wanted to search the ruins. And one day I'm still going to get to a lot of these places that I wanted to do to see these ruins. So seeing him on the screen was like everything that I ever wanted. You know? And Harrison Ford was amazing as Indy. I will just never forget when I first saw it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite. Okay. This is one of my top 3 movies of all time. It's up there, literally tied with Jurassic Park for first place. It's hard for me to choose. And that would be Jaws. Yes. Jaws is my favorite out of the series. I love Jaws 2, by the way, which I also own. That movie does not get enough credit. I really love it. It was like a direct sequel, direct sequel. I loved it. And this is one of my little favorite things. I love this digibook. So, yeah. So there you go. Yes, Jaws. All day long, every day, man. Oh. Okay, here is another series. Let's do the first one first. More sci-fi. We have, from the original series, my favorite is the original Planet of the Apes. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. Yeah, that's what I feel like in the world today. We're living in a madhouse, but love this movie. This is custom artwork, but yeah, the original, phenomenal. I'll never forget the first time I saw it and we got to the end. Oh my God, it blew me away. One of the best endings in a film ever. So next to it is the reboot series. I don't even know, is it considered? Yeah, it's a reboot series, I guess. This one was tough too, because I gotta tell you, I love all of these, but I adore the first one. I really do. I adore the first one. This was very difficult for me to choose, but I chose Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because it is so intense and layered and emotional, and has a lot of social commentary involved, and I can totally relate to Koba. Look, the thing about it, which is tough about this, is because you understand Koba. He and Caesar had 2 different experiences with humans. Caesar had a loving, caring, friendly relationship with humans for the most part, except for a couple of those bad experiences. But he had good experiences with humans, whereas Koba had completely different experience than Caesar. He was locked in a cage. He was experimented on. He was abused. He was mistreated. So he hates humans, and you can understand it. He's justified to feel the way he feels. But the problem is, which is the social commentary, is that among humans, a lot of people cannot let go of their hate. They cannot let go of their hate and move on, and it consumes them. And eventually, when you hold on to hate and resentment, it's like a plague within you, and it would deteriorate you. It would eat you up from the inside. And that's what happened to Koba. And from someone who was his best friend and like his brother, turned into this maniacal being who tried to kill him. And it's like, damn, this movie is so damn good. So yeah. Okay, we're wrapping it up. Last one. I cannot choose. Ooh, this one is hard. Okay, and I'm gonna go over it with you. Okay, first we have The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, and this is the extended edition, the only way to go. And the next one is the last one, which is the Battle of the Five Armies, also the extended edition. Now, I can't choose between these two right now. Oh my goodness. The extended editions are the way to go. There is so much extra stuff that should have, oh my goodness, everything should have been left in, but obviously they had to cut it for release. The extended editions are amazing. I still cannot choose, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to let me be. I just can't choose. I can't choose right now. I just cannot. So right now, oh, we're tied for the Hobbit series. I know it's cheating, but I legit cannot pick right now. Let me think. I don't know. I really legitimately cannot choose right now. This one is kind of tough. Man, I just can't. I really can't. I have to think on it longer. Maybe if I do another video, I'll mention it to you if I select one. But right now, I just can't choose. Ooh, maybe Five Armies. I freaking love the rock giants in this. There's so much I love about both of them. I just can't pick. I can't pick. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it's probably rambling, but when I start talking about movies and thinking about movies, it's such a love and a passion of mine. But thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't ramble too much. You all take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.